convert sisters get taken advantage of by a lot of ethnic people who are Muslim by name but not by nature. And it's really, really a really hard thing, because sometimes what happens in these marriages is that children come and rights are being violated and abuse is happening, but the sisters have no idea, and they have no idea how to get out, and they have no idea that they have different rights in Islam. And it's a very delicate subject for a lot of communities, because they don't want to get involved. They don't want to get involved between husband and wife. The taboo is that they don't want to break up a marriage. They don't want to be the ones having to teach a man how to be a husband. They don't want to be the ones to say, hey, what you're doing is wrong. It's like sometimes the political correctness seems to take over in the Muslim community, and we don't want to get involved because we don't feel like it's our place, but it is. We as Muslims have every right to get involved in anything that is violating somebody's rights. But at the same time, the sisters need to be able to access each other for support and access scholars and scholarly, material to be able to understand this. But it has to be broken down. I've noticed that whenever I've been to a marriage course, or I've sent sisters on marriage courses, they come back to me with questions. And they're like, but I don't understand about this, but what about this, and about this and about that? And I have to break it down for them, because even in a marriage course, sometimes it's not understood that these people have no idea about Islamic marriage. Even born Muslims have no idea about true Islamic marriage. And we don't see enough of this in our daily lives. We have a lot of people that are influencers, and they go out and they post loads of things, but they don't talk about Islamic marriage in a way that is showcasing rights and responsibilities. And we don't have sisters who are showcasing their rights and their responsibilities in a way that's not feministic, right? It's not, we don't want feminism to be coming up. But at the same time, we need to make sure that women are allowed in these spaces so that any questions they have can be understood and clarified. If they're not included in the conversations, then they're not going to understand what their rights and responsibilities are. So whether you're educating the men, it's not going to make much of a difference if the women are not educated at the same time. And it has to start with the girls. It has to start from a young age. When you're a convert to Islam, there should be people and places for you to go to learn about marriage and the rights and the responsibilities. But we also need to be making sure that these convert sisters are not being taken advantage of by people in the community claiming to be Muslims. When somebody comes to you and wants to do nikah, ask them questions. What are your intentions? Why have you come here? Why did you choose this lady to marry? What is, again, like I said, the political correctness seems to get in the way, and we think we shouldn't involve ourselves in their lives, but it's our job to question. It's our job to make sure that these people are going to fit each other in the best of ways. So when a convert comes, and this is why we also advocate with a lot of the work that I do, we advocate for masajid to ask outside convert care organizations to help support any converts who come for marriage. Because we say to them that, I understand that you want to do their nikah, you want them to have the halal relationship. Amazing, alhamdulillah. But at the same time, does the sister understand what she's doing? Does she understand what she's getting involved with? Does the brother understand? If he's a convert brother, does he understand what he's getting involved with? Right? Do they truly understand what it means to be married in the eyes of Allah? This is why it is really important for the masajid and convert care to come together. It can't be a convert care organization here and then a masajid here, and you have to go to both places. It doesn't make sense. But when you go to a mosque and you say to them, I want to get married, they're like, hey, yeah, let's schedule it, let's get it done. But there's no sense of, let's find out about these two people. I would say even in churches, they do this, right? In churches, they do like marriage counseling before marriage. So I don't know why we don't do this as Muslims. Why we don't say, you know what? You want to get married? Cool, let's do it quickly. Like in terms of we're not going to delay the counseling, but let's do the counseling. Let's talk to you. Let's talk to your wali. Let's talk to your mahram. Let's talk to your family, your friends. Let's ask them questions. Let's see is this all happening in the right ways? Is this all happening for the right reasons? Does everybody understand what's going to happen after you get married? So all of these things have to fall into place. It's a puzzle that needs to be put together, but it's still not there yet. We're still struggling with that. And I feel sorry for sometimes convert sisters, because I feel a little bit like, I don't know what more can be done for you, I feel sad because sometimes they get into divorces and their children involved, and it's rough on the kids. It is. Well, we need to make changes in the communities. We need to start making it a priority to start with the family unit, because everything is dividing the family right now. Everything. AI, technology, lifestyle, health, everything is dividing the family unit. So marriage and the family need to be the number one priority of all communities, no matter if it's a convert or not.
I think I truly believe that's where the importance of a really good wali comes in. You need someone who truly has your best interest in mind and understands you. For example, I had a sister on this podcast who had the almost typical situation, right, where she reverted. This Muslim by name wanted to marry her. He was kind of pressuring her, and she would have totally gone into it. And they went, and the imam there was like, "I'm not going to let this happen." He saw the situation as it was and put his foot down. He's like, "This is not right." And I think that's what we need, right? Is we need the people who are going to protect those. And I agree with you. I think it's a majority sister and probably a minority brother, but both, regardless, it doesn't matter in this. We need someone that's going to protect the reverts from making ill-informed decisions when they don't fully understand something.
Definitely. There needs to be a level of protection for all, converts especially, because we just there's no sense of understanding what the real situation is past getting married. And it is a tough one. It is really, really difficult for sisters because they can get taken advantage of much easier than the brothers. And like you said, a good wali is important, but the community needs to be that wali too. When anybody comes to me and asks me, how should I get married? I always say to them, ask people around this person how they are. Ask, he says he goes to this mosque, call them. Hey, Assalamu alaikum. This brother says that he comes to your masjid. Do you know him? Have you seen him? Does he talk to anybody? Does he come to any classes? He says he's like this. Do you know about any of this stuff? Ask for contacts. Get your father, get your brother, get your whoever to call his friends. Hey, Assalamu alaikum. This guy is interested in my sister. Can you tell me about him? Pose leading questions. Don't just ask, oh, is he a good guy? No. Ask leading questions. So what are the characteristics you think he has to get married? What would make him a good husband in your eyes? Where did you meet him? How did your friendship grow? Taking that responsibility seriously, whether you're a brother, a father,